Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ian Mikatel. I'm a senior product manager within the Office org at Microsoft, specifically working on developing the inking technology that's in this new Microsoft Whiteboard app. I also do the inking technology in the OneNote app as well.
And I'm Angela Z. I'm also senior product manager on Whiteboard, focusing on Whiteboard, the product, as well as future things to be announced.
So today we wanted to talk about this new application. It's called Microsoft Whiteboard. Some of you in the room may be familiar with it. I'm actually kind of curious. Can we do a quick show of hands if you've heard about this app before? OK, about maybe 50% of you. Cool. That's helpful. So today we're going to take some time, step through kind of the thought process behind why we've built this new app. It's not every day that Office builds a new application, and so we take it pretty seriously. And then hopefully get you familiar with it, but also use a little bit of this time after we close to hopefully have a little bit of a conversation with y'all about what your thoughts on this product are, how you could see it fitting into your org. So I'd really encourage you, if you have any thoughts at all, step up to the mics after we finish up and help us get some feedback as well, because we're in the early stages of this. So to start, I wanted to take a step back and really talk a little bit about what we think about on the product team at Microsoft Whiteboard when we're developing this application. And so it really goes back up. I'm sure you've heard this before. This is Microsoft's Uber mission statement about empowering every person in every organization to achieve more. And one of the ways that we think we're doing that with the whiteboard is by kind of accommodating the different ways that people work. And so we're going to talk about that, some of the trends that we see happening in the workplace and the way that things might be changing. But one thing that is really evident out there is we know that a lot of people are visual people, visual learners, visual thinkers. And if you think about a lot of the tools that we offer today for most workflows, they don't have those people in mind. And the Whiteboard app is actually trying to help a lot in that specific domain. And you'll probably understand a bit more of that as we step through and show you some examples. So I mentioned these key workplace trends, and there's really 3 of them that we think about when we're building this application. The first one is actually something, this top one here is from New York Times, quoting some studies just a couple years ago. And I think it's really interesting to think about collaboration, not just in a sense of where products are moving towards, and from a perspective of I'm here standing up here as Microsoft saying more collaboration. Actually, take a look at this. It's talking about how when executives have infused more collaboration in their orgs, they actually see something happen to their bottom lines. They see more profitability. And so we see this as a change that's just going to happen for very kind of obvious reasons for most companies going forward. Another piece of this is that the second bullet here from Harvard Business Review is talking about non-homogeneous groups. People that are diverse in nature typically perform better. And so this has been seen in a lot of other studies. Some other companies have even done internal looks at their orgs and seen similar kind of feedback. And so as we think about more diversity in workplaces, how can we support that? And this goes back to what I was just saying around the different working styles that people have, right? If you have more diversity, some of that group is not going to be working all the same. They're going to need different tools to help accommodate their different styles of working. And the last piece here, this is from Derek Sivers, talking about the kind of information age that we live in, thinking about all the types of information that we have to consume, being inundated with just information overload, and really being able to have tools to help you kind of gather and summarize and synthesize all that information is just going to be so paramount to being successful going forward. And so with these 3 kind of trends going forward in the workplace is how we've thought about developing this new product, Microsoft Whiteboard. And with all of that said, I think the best thing I could do right now is just roll a video to introduce you to the product.
Every form of art has its own superpower. Books have immersion, and paintings have singular focus. Games are the only one that let you directly control what the action is and what the story is going to be.
Night School Studio is an independent game developer based out of Los Angeles, and our first game is a game called Oxenfree. We want to be as flexible as possible in terms of the types of people we work with, and even physically where they are.
It's almost always the case that the right person for the job is not necessarily in the right city.
The creative process at night school is very fluid and organic because we're a really small team.
You can have these moments of inspiration and spark that happen really organically when you get in a role of brainstorming or sketching or thumbnailing.
I'm always trying to find ways to communicate with people who aren't in the same space as me.
Co-collaborating on the whiteboard has really sparked a new form of collaboration.
We have found that working with the Surface Hub has removed a lot of steps that we didn't realize were problems in the process because they were just natural aspects of how we worked.
Suddenly being able to collaborate with different people, different cultures, different walks of life, you get all these different perspectives being added to the teams. And I can only see benefits to that.
Thank you. So with that, we'd like to talk to you a bit more about Microsoft Whiteboard, a free-form digital canvas where people, ideas, and content come together. Now, as Ian referred to earlier, it's important for us that every team, inclusive of its diversities, its geographies, its languages, can collaborate together on this limitless canvas as best fits their needs. Now, to give you a sense of, well, what best fits your needs, we thought we'd share some customer stories with you of how they've decided to put Whiteboard into their workplace and really start our journey on how we're enabling every organization to achieve more together. So the first customer I want to talk about is a retail customer, and they've really thought that Whiteboard is a great place for those early stages of project development, where it's really raw, and the most important thing that you want to do is get everyone's ideas on a single canvas, see how they work together, and get your collective thought to come across as to how we're going to move forward with this as a team. Mm-hmm. How they've decided to implement this is they've put the whiteboard in their open spaces, so it's available whenever teams come together, and not only do they use it for the in-person brainstorming, but they can easily have remote people call in, and so everything really is on one canvas. You don't have that awkward distance from anyone that's remote. The second example I want to talk about is pretty different. So instead of the creative aspect, it's a manufacturing customer. And what they found is they have these really large, complex projects that span from the manufacturing floor to the corporate headquarters to remote vendors. And so how do they stay on the same page as they go through their day-to-day activities? They use Whiteboard to both take that step back and see the holistic view of the current project, but also to be able to dive in and make notes, annotations, and tweak things as needed on a day-to-day. And it's really leaning on that visual nature of Whiteboard to make them feel comfortable that across these geographies, across these disciplines, they really feel like they're working in lockstep with each other. The third customer, and we've heard this as well, is now past brainstorming, past iteration, there's a lot of reviews that need to happen of your current work. And a lot of times those happen in these are large, important gatherings where it's really important everyone gets on the same page. And so we've seen Whiteboard be put in executive briefing centers, conference rooms, really pushing forward that to get everyone on the same page. Again, acknowledging that you may not be in the same room. Sure, everyone can see the presented content, but what about that really important discussion? That ideation, that iteration that happens in the meeting that you get that light bulb happening. Now, these remote collaborators, they're really not be able to participate in the current technology conferencing space, but with Whiteboard, not only can they see what's happening, but they can also participate.
The one thing I just wanted to add, which was interesting to see from a product development perspective, is this particular scenario is the one that the Surface Hub device, which we run Whiteboard on, was originally targeting, those conference meeting rooms. But it's really fun and interesting to see how it's spread its use cases to those other areas of these businesses. So just interesting to see that progression.
Now I wanted to call out three key values that we've really come to grasp as we look across these 3 scenarios as well as see where we're going in the future. The first is that we really feel, obviously, this is a free-form canvas for creativity and collaboration. It's where imagination can grow. It's where you as an individual can come with your personal expression, because it's really when we feel that everyone can represent themselves as individuals, then combine as a group, where you have that collective group power together, and we really want to leverage that. Now, in order to enable this personal expression in the purest form is our second point of we believe that natural interactions, so pen first, touch first, are the best ways for you to really express yourself as you see fit. Now, with that, Surface, of course, we've leveraged their powers as being leading in this area, and specifically for Surface Hub is where we've decided to start our journey. Now, the third, which you'll see us double down on and talk a bit more, is built-in intelligence for the way you work. Now, whiteboards are great, but we're a digital product by nature. So how can we do more than what you put on the board? How can we assist you with more intelligence? How can we give you more tools so you can express yourself better? This is where I think we've started our journey, and we're going to show you some of those features that we've added recently, but we're only planning to do more here.
So that's awesome. We talked a little bit about kind of our principles, why we're doing this. We gave you a sneak peek at what the product actually is. One of the things we thought, because we're people from the product team, we'd do today is kind of pull the curtains back so you can understand a little bit of the journey that this team has been on and the product has been on. And you can actually probably extrapolate where we'll go from here. So it actually goes back a couple years, back to June 2015. And that's around the time when the Surface Hub device launched. And we actually first introduced this whiteboard app when the Surface Hub was introduced to the world, because we thought it would be an interesting experiment to see if people really wanted a digital whiteboard on that type of device. And what we found through that was that, it turns out people really liked it. They really enjoyed that process of being able to just walk up to a large screen device and start ideating. And what we didn't realize, because we were kind of incubating this, was the demand and the excitement around it that we would get from users and kind of what they would ask for. And so we originally were a small incubation team, actually built off of the OneNote platform. So if you're familiar with the OneNote app, we have a canvas in that app, and it also accepts pen input. And so we built that first version of the whiteboard app using a lot of the core technology from OneNote itself. And so that was great. We focused on, like at the bottom of the slide says, we focused on whiteboarding needs for meetings, because again, that was the target of the Surface Hub device. And then we learned a lot. So we put it out in the world and we listened. And so the very next thing you see is we became one of the most used apps on the Surface Hub. And so that was really exciting to us, and it gave us a lot of kind of data and feedback to learn from and grow the product. And so just to illustrate this, this is from when we launched the first version of the whiteboard. And you can see this is kind of what we optimized for. It's 2 people together in a room trying to collaborate. And you see they're able to ink at the same time on the device, so 2 active pens going at the same time. So that's kind of cool. And so this was our first version. This was what we incubated and we put out there in the world. And like I said, we started to learn. And what we learned was something really, really interesting. It kind of goes back to that original slide I had at the top of the deck about the workplace trends. And we learned that people are really asking for more than just this, because their organizations, as I'm sure you all know, are spread out. They're remote. They have multiple offices, multiple locations. And so fast forward a couple years to May 2017, and we added the #1 thing just a couple months ago, in fact, that users were asking for, which was kind of real-time remote collaboration in the whiteboard app. So we're super excited about this. We're going to show you it in a second. But this allows multiple Surface Hubs now that may be in completely different locations to have a person at board A and a person at board B both writing together at the same time on the same whiteboard. Doesn't matter where they are anymore. And it's really exciting to us. And so we just put this out a couple months ago. It updated worldwide overnight on all the Surface Hubs. So if you have a Surface Hub device, or if you're thinking of getting one, you will have this new application on your Surface Hub. And I'll fast forward, talk a little bit about reactions. So I know we're standing on stage as Microsoft employees. Obviously, we're a little biased. So I like to give out, see what other people said. So As a product person, I couldn't ask for a better headline than this one from Mashable, which said, Microsoft Whiteboard is the virtual collaboration tool we've all been dreaming of. And Lance Ulanoff, who's their editor-at-large, just said that nothing showcases the pen's new capabilities like collaborating on the whiteboard. And so, like I said earlier, my other piece of my job is digital inking across this app in OneNote, and it just makes me super happy to see that kind of reaction and to introduce people to pen and ink through something like this application. So this is the new app. This video is going to play, and I'll keep rotating it. I'm going to talk through a bunch of the features and just kind of explain what's going on. So the first thing I want you to focus on as I start this is the top right. You'll see there's a bunch of faces there. Actually, Panos from our Surface hardware team, that's my CVP, Iran, and then myself in the middle. And those icons in the top right we call global presence. What it's telling you is who is in this session right now, no matter where they are in the world, who is actually actively looking at this whiteboard. And that's important because now you know who's in the room with you, essentially. The second thing you'll notice is as people are writing on the whiteboard, you see those same faces duplicated in a smaller version, almost like those little bouncing heads and when you see karaoke. And that's important we learn through user testing because it helps you understand as a collaborator who is contributing what ideas on the whiteboard. And so you actually can see, oh, as this person's writing, okay, that's Ian, that's Panos, that's Iran. And I now know who is contributing what. So then there's a bunch of other stuff going on. So let me run through a couple things here. It's going to start replaying. So the first thing that you're going to notice is there's a bunch of ink tools at the bottom. And this app was designed to be super, super simple. You should be able to walk up and very quickly understand what to do with this application. It should just mimic a whiteboard. Not a lot of UI, not a lot of buttons. It's very, very approachable. That was the #1 word specifically that users have called this app. It's approachable, friendly, and simple. And so then you notice as they're writing, we have some really cool intelligent-based features added on top of the ink. So the first one you notice there is, I'm going to call out this one here. So they're drawing a square. It's recognized into a shape. And as they dissect it, it turns into a table automatically. Now this table has a bunch of cells in it. And you can input into those cells with the pen and ink. And you'll notice that multiple people can be contributing, right? So this is 2 people collaborating on a table, filling it out at the same time with just their pen. And we have some additional things that are really cool. Like I highlight very quickly the cells, and it automatically fills them with that highlight. And an additional feature, I don't think we actually have it in this video, but it's super cool, is you can hit a sort button on the tables column. And we actually do ink recognition on all the things that you wrote, and we're able to sort that data just as if it was a table in Excel. And so it's really, really powerful because you now feel like the pen is supernatural, but it's still really powerful as if you had like full Excel in front of you or something like that with sorting and things of that nature. The other one there is you saw the angles. So as you draw shapes in this app and tap on them, you'll get angles of all the vertices that pop up automatically. And that's based off of what you just drew. And so you can do things like figure out schematics and angles. In this scenario, we're talking about Surface product design. And so they're trying to get the hinge angle just right and kind of collaborating on what that should be. And then they're doing a list of parts here in the table to talk about how to refine the product design. And so you can see very quickly how this could be used in a lot of different applications because it's so free form, it's so simple, and it's kind of just, it can be kind of bend to whatever needs you may have. And so that's just a kind of quick overview of some of the features there. In terms of scale, that's a common question people ask, how many people can I have in this app? We optimized it for about 5 to 7 people. We think that's around an average collaboration session size. But we actually scale up to support a lot more people than that. So all you need to do for this app is log in with your Office 365 account. And you will get the collaborations features that are shown in this video automatically. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of some of the stuff in there. One other call out, you'll notice we have a ruler feature. I don't think we actually show it in the video. But if you tap that ruler, it'll bring a big on-screen ruler up on the screen. And you can take your pen and just draw near that, and it draws a completely straight line for you. And you can manipulate the ruler with the other hand and ink with the pen in the other hand. And it's a really kind of tactile, useful tool. Did I forget anything? Anything else you want to mention on that one?
I think that's good.
OK.
Great. So that's our product. That's out today. Now, where are we going moving forward? We unfortunately can't share too many details. We can hint that we've just increased our product team in the last couple of months by 3 times. So we're heavily invested in this area. Microsoft is excited about it, and we will announce more very soon. One thing that I did want to say that we are definitely investing in is obviously collaboration, but then tying that into the Microsoft Graph. So it's great to have this freeform canvas, but you already have existing work in your PowerPoint, Excel, things like that. And not only that, but we have existing intelligence in the Microsoft Graph. Who do you work with? What are trending documents that are going on in your team? This is going to be a main focus of ours to really embrace the O365 ecosystem. And so kind of that's one thing that we definitely wanted to share. Beyond that, I think we're about to show you how you can get early access. Again, we have a lot of exciting things. We just can't say the exact details, but we can give you a link as to if you sign up here. We really are important for us to grow our user community to understand how you're using the product. The whiteboard space is a very new space. People working together as individuals is very new, and so how each of you decide to implement that in your organization is really valuable knowledge for us. And so if you go here, not only will you get early access to the new features that we're about to release, but also we'd love to talk to you. We'd love for you to talk to both of us. You literally will hear personally from both of us if you sign up here so we can learn more.
Yeah, and I'll just give a quick anecdote on that. We, in the version of the app that we released back in May, we had a large community that we had built up and talked with very frequently. And it's really, really fun to do that because we learned a lot from people playing with the app every day. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Windows Insider program and getting early builds of Windows. And so from the Office side of things, we're equally trying to reach out to the community of folks that are interested in this product and get that same level of engagement built. And so one of the things that I'd call out today specifically, kind of as maybe a call to action for you all, is if you do happen to have any Surface Hub devices in your org already, or you're thinking about getting some, you have this application that we showed today already on the device. You can walk right up to the screen. You should see 3 tiles on the screen, and there's a whiteboard button. If you tap that, you'll be launched into the application. And so definitely give it a try. A lot of folks, I will admit, didn't actually realize the app updated because it happened automatically for a lot of people. And a bunch of the intelligent features that I showed kind of happen behind the scenes. And so if you don't draw a shape, you might not know we do shape recognition for you now. So give it a try if you happen to have access to the devices. And we'll have, like Angela mentioned, a ton more to announce very soon. And with that, I think we'll probably end a little early. But again, we'd encourage you to come up to the mics, give us any feedback, any questions that you have. And if you'd like to have more one-on-one conversation, we will stick around and happy to do that as well. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.